how to create a views, okay, and index also, okay. Yeah, this is the one. Uh, One minute, let me open. Yeah, this one. Okay. So we know how to create a index, and the syntax is very simple. You have to use create view, view name. You can give any view. Say for example, you're working on a customer table, okay, or you're working on a promotion table. Okay, so you have some promotions that you want to tag. Okay, you're working on some XYZ table. Okay, name it as per the table or the task that you're working, so that you you will remember. Okay, you will remember that, and it will be easy to it will be easy to follow. And if you want to make any changes, you can go make these changes. Okay, so we have learned how to create, how to edit views, and how to delete or drop views. Okay, and where does it sit? Your views, whatever views you create, it stores in a Postgres database. Okay, so under public, say for example, you're working on a database called DVD rental. Okay, I have created others. Okay, so you need to expand schema, and under public you'll have public something like this. Expand this public uh, key, and then you will see views. Okay, at the bottom. Now, what happens to this views when you close or when you reboot your PC? It will get stored here. Okay, all the time it will be stored. It's like permanent link. Okay, for some reason, for customer info, if you recall, yesterday we created this customer info with 3 or 4 columns. Okay, customer ID, first, last, email, and active. What if you have actual table? If you type select star from customer, and you have some tables, some columns like gender, age, then age, then address, right? Phone number, okay, uh, SSN or Aadhaar number, right? We capture all those things, right? So if you want to, if those columns are very sensitive, okay, and if your management says not to share those info, only required info that is required for the analysis, then you have to create a view. Instead of giving access to the table, entire table, okay, so for example, here I have a table called customer. Okay, if you see here, how many columns I have here? This many. Okay, but in my views, I'm giving only 5. Okay, now you might have understood why we create views. Okay, to lock, to control, to give only required column access. Okay, so if someone asks what is the difference between views and select statement, okay, you say select statement, it's like very danger. You have access to everything, whereas views you can customize. You can give only access that is required for a person or team member to view from a table. Okay, so these many columns you are hiding. Okay, so generally how these lockdowns are done is you right click on it, you go to properties. Okay, now if you see here, schema, table space, Postgres owner, right? Here generally we'll create some groups. Okay, right now we have not created, say user one. Okay, for example, okay, I'll show you an admin. Okay, I want to explain that as well. Okay, people who are very keen in learning administrator, okay, administration. So for example, when you expand, you have 3 sections: database, login and groups, and table spaces. Okay, you have to expand this login groups, created something called here view. Okay, so sorry, accounts. See, whatever you see PG starts with PG. These are all default created by who? When you install this Postgres, these are all preloaded. These are some roles. Okay, we called it roles. Okay, now if you want to create a new role, okay, for example, say you guys are working on some, say assuming you guys are all from marketing team. Okay, so I want to create some marketing account. Okay, I can say marketing underscore, always give a location details and all so that you can easily identify. I'll say Hyderabad. Okay, okay, and I'll say location one. If you have 2 3 location, just give a meaningful name. Okay, for now I'll remove this. Okay, and definition privilege. Okay, so here you have to add the privilege here. So you can log in, that person can log in. Okay, super user, no. Create roles, no. Create database, no. Can initiate a streaming application backups. If you want to give backup, you can give, but that is also very danger. Okay, he can export that in CSV and he can view the customer details. So there is a chance that your data might expose, right? Membership. Okay, role with admin. Okay, or role, user role you want to add here. Okay, I'll say select the item. Here we have some predefined, this one predefined. Now here wherever you see limited, there is a read only one, PG. See, read all data. Okay, PG read all settings. PG read all stats. PG read server files. Okay, log files and all. If you want to give, if you want to add him as a admin as well as read view, you can assign him a read view. Okay, and write view means he can create, edit files, see, write all data. So you have predefined some of the roles here. If you don't understand what is this PG use reserved connection, okay, so you can go to the this one page, the documentation page of PG admin or Postgres. You will get all details. Okay, so this one I'll take at the end. I just want to make sure you understand this, the roles, why we are using views today. Okay, so you can do the same thing. You can say I can use the columns and names and I can pull the data, right? But there is a catch there. Okay, catch is people can see all the data with a select. So generally we block the select statement. I'll tell you how to block that also. Okay, at the end I'll show you all those admin related stuff. Okay, so this is the syntax for creating a view, and then you can write your where condition, same like select statement, and then you can write your condition and all. Only that info he can see. Okay, and how do you edit? Okay, this one I gave a complex. You can create a view where you are joining multiple table and pulling the information, and he is accessing. Okay, so this one is category film count. This one. Okay, and you know how to execute. Just type select star from view name. Whatever the view name you have created, just put it here and you get all the info. Only that info you will get. Okay, whatever we have written in a query. It's like lockdown view. Okay, this one, and updating. How do you updating the existing view? You have created some, so you will use create or replace. This is what you have to write. Create or replace view, view name, whatever the view name you have given here. Okay, view name. Okay, as then you write your, say for example, initially you gave only 3 columns, 1 2 3. Okay, and you need to add email and active section. So you can add this and run it, so that get appended. Okay, so yesterday I gave you the example, right? So this is very important, guys. Okay, so mostly if you see, you will get only view access only in a big company. Here they will not give you select star. Even if you run, it will throw some privilege access not found to run this query or something. Okay, so whatever you left side simple, you go and see what are the views are there. Just right click and run it, and then you will get the desired result what you're looking for. And We also learned about materialized views. Okay. Now, what is the difference between that and this? Okay. Here, basically, what you can see here is the query that we are writing here in materialized create material for performance. Okay. So, for example, you want to do some calculation and all those things, you can use the materialized views here. So, I am using a function called sum. Okay. And then storing that as total spent. Okay, materialized view. And there was one more concept that I was teaching. 1 minute, let me. Yeah, this one materialized view, it stores actual data physically. Okay, so what happens is whatever the query that I'm running in the select star you see here, right? So it stores internally, okay, in a cached. Okay, so when you run this again, this one, okay, materialized view underscore top customer select star, it will be very quick to run. Okay, okay. See, right now we have very less rows here, but in real time, I'm telling you where you can see billion of records. Okay, when you run select star from the table name when you have a data records of a billion of rows, right? You have to sit. You can go have your tea and come back. Okay, so it will take that much time. I've seen that real time. Okay, for millions only it takes a lot of time because those servers are all sitting in US, and you just have the front end access like PC admin, and you will connect to your database, and then you will execute all your queries, right? So what happens is if everything is in India locally, physically, right, it will be quick. So whatever query that it used to take like 15 minutes, if everything is in India, it might take less than 10 minutes. Okay, some 5 minutes, 4 minutes or something. It all depends on where your servers and the system design, okay, how it was designed, where it was kept, okay, all those things also matters. So materialize gives your actual data, okay, and then we learned about index. Okay, so what is index? It's a data structure that improves query speed. Okay, there are like sequential scan are there, index scans are there. Okay, index is nothing but it's like a book index. Okay. How do you create index? Syntax is create index index name. Okay, for example, you have a table called customer table. Okay, and you are writing on every time you are doing some changes. Okay, some search you are doing based on this customer, this one. Okay, you see here how many columns I have. Here I have 4, 8, 10. Okay, so 10 columns I have. In real time, you will see 200, 300, 400. Okay, you get confused. For the time it takes to understand what are the labels are here, it will take a lot of time in real time. Okay, that is the reason I said always work with Kaggle data sets. Okay, you will get sample mock database data kind of thing where you can practice. Okay, so we have here, okay, just assume we have these many, okay, and I want to create index. Okay, every time what you're doing is you're doing some analysis based on some email. Okay, based on some email. So what you'll do is you'll create an index. Okay, so you create this one. Okay, create index. So always abbreviate prefix with index name, okay, idx, or you want to type full form indx, up to you. Okay, index one, or give your name index Suren, index Sai, or Rupa, or whoever. Okay, if you are creating your index, you can name it. So there is no hard and fast rule that you have to give idx only. It's a industry standard we follow. Okay, so even if you Google it, right, they say idx. So I start with IDX only, index, and which table I'm applying this customer table on which column, email. Okay, so every time I have a billion records, I'm searching something. Okay, so what it does is it will create an index and store it temporarily in your SQL Postgres database. So whenever you search a different email site, it will be really very quick, the results. Okay, so that is where we use the frequently access. Select star is not a good a way of searching a queries. Select star nobody uses. Okay, even if someone asks in an interview, right? Which one is good, select star or this one? So never say that. Okay, it will take a lot of. It's not a good. I mean, SQL code or script to run on. If it is a small data, you can run it quick. But if it is large, it will take a lot of time. Okay, what happens is when it takes a lot of time, wherever your data centers are there running, right, it generates a lot of energy. Okay, so ultimately it is generating some heat there, and right, carbon footprints. Okay, it will create more. So that is the reason. There is a article, I'll share it with you. Okay, I'll find out that article, steps to lower your carbon footprint. Okay, I'll find out that. Okay, so whenever you run select star with the commands, right, it generates a lot of heat in the backend because it needs some processing, and ultimately it generates. Though the cooling and everything is there in the backend, where your data centers are running, but ultimately it generates some heat. Okay, greenhouse, blah blah blah. I saw one article. I don't know where, but it was a very good article. Okay, so they'll ask you all these things. Okay, if you answer smartly, right, he will get, definitely that person will get impressed by your answer. Okay, no, not this is some analysis. Okay, this is not what I'm looking for. But anyway, I'll if I find that tomorrow, I'll share it in WhatsApp. Just go through it and read it. Okay. So this is one. And under indexing, what are the other type? You have unique index. Okay. So again, you have unique index. Okay. You have another one is yeah, unique and composite index. These are the two that I can think of. Index scan is there. The other one minute. Sequential scan is also there. Did I? Yeah, sequential scan, index scan. Okay, there are different types of scans are there. See, right now in this one, you see, I'm just applying on only one column. If you want to apply, you have to use sequential or index scan on multiple columns. Put a comma and pick this column also. Okay, bull or address or whatever. Okay, I'm telling you, giving an example. It's not limited to one. You can add different also. But you have to say unique email, and you can see composite means more than one. Add multiple columns. Simple explanation I give you, more than one column. Okay, and then we learned about explain. Okay, explain is general. It will give you what it is doing. It will give you a high level. Okay, for example, I have this statement, select start from customer where email is equal to blah blah blah. Okay, so what it is doing, you want to see, it will explain Postgres. So index scan using IDX UBQ email on customer. Okay, See how much is 0.28, rows 1, width, blah blah. It will give you all the details. Okay, and then these are all technical guys. Okay, those who are, I mean, wants to understand the admin side and administrator side of SQL, manage large database and all, it's for them. Okay, so I thought maybe I'll explain. So there is difference between explain and extend analyze. It will give you more details. Okay, like this: index search 1, buffer, uh, planning time this much millisecond, and execution time 0.1 millisecond. Okay, now coming back to our topic for today, we're going to learn optimization techniques. Okay, before that, let's go to the PPT. Okay, performance will complete today. Tomorrow we'll start with subqueries, procedures, and triggers. Okay, then we have all these are normal theory type. Okay, we'll finish it off. I'll try to finish it off this week, or probably I can do it next week by Monday or Tuesday. Okay, so 2 days we'll do some practice, and then I'll tell you what we're gonna start next. Okay, I'll go to index. Normalization. Yeah, SQL performance tuning. Okay, now generally when we talk about performance tuning, okay, what are the things that comes to our mind? Okay, performance is generally related to speed, right? So how soon or how fast the query that you are running will fetch my details, right? So this is where we're gonna learn some few I mean topics here like index columns. See, I have completed yesterday index columns also, same thing. Okay, so add index on frequently filtered joined columns. See columns. Okay, always columns, not entire thing. Don't over index, slows writes. Okay, so see only see whatever the analysis that you're doing every Monday. Okay, report whatever. Okay, think what are the data points that you're looking for from that report. Okay, only those you index it. Fataфат you can get those reports and other things really very quick. Avoid n+1 query. Okay, so this is what I was saying. Fetch all data in one query with join instead of looping queries in application code. Okay, this is also very valid point. Okay, and this one is use limit. Okay, you know what is limit. Okay, limit means when you are putting select star from table name, right? So generally if you have 10,000 rows, it will show 10,000 rows. Okay, it takes some time guys inside your memory and all to store. Okay, when you use limit of 100 200 150, it will limit only 150 rows. Okay, so these are all performance tuning concept, I mean best practices I can say. Okay, table partition. Okay, so for huge table, if you have a tables, okay, so right now I said we have a column of how many on the DVD, so some 12 13 or 14, but in real time you will see 300 columns, 400 columns, 450 columns. Okay, I have seen even 600 columns also. Okay, so what happens is for huge tables, okay, logs, okay, payments, use table partition. What is table partition? If you have a huge table with 150 or 200, just assume you have 200 columns. Okay, we will use something called partition. Okay, we will break that big table into smaller. Okay, based on date range or better for better performance. We have already done this. If I'm not wrong, previous session I've done this. Okay, partitioning table. I'll check with my notes if I've done this. If not, I'll take it up. Okay, and connection pooling. Okay, this is what I was telling, right? You are see how many connections are currently your Postgres is connected. Okay, how many people are. So you need to know all these things. If you go to your dashboard here, Okay. 1 minute. Query tool workspace. Okay. So here, this is see. Right now, I'm already connected one connection. This is second connection. Okay. So this is a second connection. Local blah blah blah, and password is 12345. Okay. Role. Okay. So what is my role here? I'm selecting. If I say monitor, only monitoring work I can do. Okay. And then connect and open query. Okay. Right now, enter the password. Okay. 12345 Hmm. Is it Postgres? No. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Hmm. Okay. But I'll check later. Just don't forget your password. Okay. Whatever password you have set, write it down somewhere. I've written somewhere, but I'll check tomorrow. Okay. So what I was saying is, if you want to connect, how many pools means connection pools is how many connection pools are connected to your database currently. Okay. So that is what it means to say. Okay. So this one, and this is a command line tool, and this one is a schema difference workspace. Okay, you have options here also. So these are all settings. Okay, settings, and you want to change some settings keyboard. I'll show you only the, I will not show all. Okay, I'll just show that is required. Okay, you have to go help yourself here. Okay, so I'll not show all these things. Okay, so first thing first, whenever you're learning any tool, right, go and see what is there in file, object, tools, object, everything you have to scroll if you want to excel in this tool. Zoom in, zoom out, okay, window, then help. If you go to help, you have something called uh, online help. Okay, you can go there and also you can view what is this under browser, what are these properties. Okay, counts rows if estimated less than 2000, maximum job history rows. So these are all default settings. This 250, 2000, I didn't put anything. When you install, it comes by default. Okay. Tab setting. These are the tab settings. 1, 2, 3. Okay. So you have option. Debugger tab title. Whatever you want to give, leave it. If you don't understand, don't give. Okay. Dynamic type tab size. If you put it this, so you can move, you do all these things. Okay, dynamic tab and also you get that mark and all. Okay, so you need to know all these things. Okay, just play around because the data is nothing, it's just a open in new browser tab. What do you want to open? Okay, always whenever you click on new here or here. Okay, open dashboard property SQL, all these are there, right? Now if I go to open dependency statistics SQL property dashboard. So this is a dashboard that you're gonna see. Okay, this is your dashboard. Generally, you can configure this. I'll show you at the end. Okay, don't get confused. But at least this one, go to this page and understand what are these. Okay, so you can help yourself if you don't know anything. So in next class, at least let me know what you don't understand. I'll explain. Okay, because I don't know. Okay, so I just installed the latest version today with PG Admin. So if you go to PG Admin 4, mine is 911. Okay, the version of PG11 is 911. Today only updated before this class. Okay, so this is the current user pgadmin4 at pgadmin.org. This Python, which Python version is integrated 3.13.11. Okay, you have some configuration here. Allow save password true. Okay, if I remove this one every time it will ask password. Now I don't want to do that because I forgot the password. I have to look first what password is. Then I'll play around and do Okay, and Azure credential cache directory. Okay, this is your file. If you want to integrate this with Azure and all, so you go and load all those things. Okay, so you have to go and understand all these things. Okay, coming back to performance, we'll close this today. So materialized, I've already showed you. Okay, the data that you integrate, right? It stores locally. Okay, in SQL only, but locally means you're saving locally means it doesn't mean it saves like a CSV format or again it reads. No, it stores within the memory of Postgres. Okay, internally. So we'll see some examples. So okay, I've already added here. It's the same thing. Explain, analyze, see query execution plan. Okay, this is the example. Okay, output tells you sequence scan versus index scan, vacuum, reclaim storage after deletes. Okay, you have something called vacuum analyze rental. So it will clean those memories and all. So I've added some technical detail also. So keep reading all these things. Okay, force index set enable sequence scan of testing only. Right now, if you want to test it, you can add. Okay, so you write this and run it, it will do it. Okay, slow query. Okay, see, slow query, avoid select star. Never use select star from table. Select star from table fetches all columns, which will slow down. Okay, fast query select only needed column. This is the fun. Okay, avoid functions in where. When you add where, right, functions, it uses index, it will take a lot of time to fetch. Okay, so these are some good practices. Where में कभी मत डालो. Okay, don't add it. You want to add it, you add it within a statement. Select, say for example, rental rate is there, you add sum of rental rate, you'll get it there. And you can do a group where a condition, you are checking some condition, film id, and group by you do film id. Okay, whatever you are writing here, group by you can do here also. Okay, and use exist instead of count for membership. Okay, where we do write count, where count is equal to greater than 0 means to avoid duplicate, and takes a lot of slower. Faster is where exist, select one. Okay, I have already done these examples. Okay, these are some of the best. Even if you Google it, you'll get a lot of other queries also, case by case. But select star and use all columns, whichever column. Where don't use this one. When you have enabled the index and when you use where and black, it will slow down. Okay, so these are some of the best practices. Okay, so and you can use that explain, analyze, same thing. Okay, for performance related also. Okay, if I want to use index on search columns, okay, how can I use? Okay, I'll show you one query. Select start from customer where email is equal to abc@gmail.com. Okay, so I didn't get anything here. Okay, so I'll take something here. Okay, so here how many records we have? We have I think 1400 or 1500. Okay, so whenever you are pulling anything right here, and if you see there is some slowness is there, okay, as an admin, you can create a index. Okay, so this is index. Okay, same thing. Create index, index name, customer email on email. Okay, on email column, I'm writing this index. Okay, so IDX relation already exists, means already, if you remember yesterday's we have created. Okay, so if you want to create, change your name something like one customer one email. Okay, okay, so just change the name, and for practice purpose you can create. Okay, And and for see, avoid select. Okay, avoid this. Select star from payment. See, right now we have 14,000 guys. Okay, in real time it will be huge. Okay, you will see. You have to sit for time. You can chit chat with your colleagues and come back, and then still it will not load. There are instances where it took for me 45 minutes sometimes based on the data that I'm querying. Okay, so what is the best practice? Select customer ID, amount from payment. Okay, whatever required information. Okay, something like this. Okay, now we'll also learn where clause. I just give you example right in the PPT. Where clause. Okay, use where clause. Okay, I'll take select star from rental. Okay, just assume this is one table called rental. Okay, this information I have. Okay, and I want to see some analysis for example, rental date. Okay, rental date greater than some date. Okay, I want to see some date. Okay, okay, so where clause rental date greater and equal to blah blah blah. Okay, so it will pull only those information that we're looking for. Oh man, 1 minute. I have to select this. Okay. So now you see how many records you have total 1488, 16,000. Okay. So when you type this and again you take time to go through all this thing and okay, it will take a lot of time. Okay. Better you give your where clause and close it there itself. Okay. So it will save time, and you think that you need a indexing for this because you're doing frequently on a date basis, right? You can create index idx underscore what is the table name, rental underscore rental date. Okay, and then on rental which column, rental date, done. Okay, same thing we have written here, right? I'll just copy to save time. Idx. Okay, what is the table name? Rental. And instead of email, what is the frequent column you're doing? You're checking the rental date. Okay, something if you write, it will be meaningful. Okay, on which table rental? Rental. On which column? Rental date. Rental date. You have to pick the column name. Okay, whichever you're doing frequent check. Search. Okay, done. Okay. So data is less, it is done. Now, if you search something, it should be quick. 142 millisecond. Okay, let me run one more time. 192 millisecond. Okay, it varies. 185, 192, 185. Okay, so as the index gets improvised, right? So I'll take this is 14. So I'll take 14. 1, 6, 14. 169. So it is improving. See, the less means it is taking less time to fetch. Okay, you have to do all these changes to your data and play around with the this thing. Okay, where clause. Where clause is very important. And the other one we learned is use limit. Okay, so generally I'll say select star from film. Okay, I'll run it. You see how many 1,000 rows. Okay, but we don't need all these thousand. See how much time it is taking, 236 milliseconds. Okay, what if I say select star from film limit 10, only 10 rows. Now you see 158. See the difference, 236 and 153 seconds. It saves your time. Okay, with the queries. And you have to use joins efficiently. Okay, for example, I'll mention this. Use joins efficiently. Okay, so I'll say select star from customer, comma, rental. Okay, I'm just picking up two tables. See, time taking. See, this is very bad. Never use this. 384 milliseconds, which is very bad. Okay, it should be always in two-digit number. Actually, two-digit means it is very good. The time millisecond it is taking like less than 100. Okay, two-digit means less than 99, 98 millisecond, and 60 milliseconds. So you have to write. Okay, so in SQL also there are people who will be working towards optimizing queries only. So it's day-to-day job is to check which are the frequent data people are pulling or customers are pulling. So he will customize. He will write all those index on those columns, and he'll keep it and make sure that is done from his end. Okay. Now you see here, I'm getting both the details here, rental as well as this. Okay. So from here, inventory ID, these are all rental, and from here, rental ID. Yeah, from here, customer details. See, you can pull two table at a time also, but it takes a lot of time. Okay, so I didn't teach all these things. Okay, this is very bad actually, very bad. Even if you tell in interview, they'll ask you who taught you. Okay, so never use this. So instead, what you can do is you can use the joins for better. Better. Okay, how? I'll say select star from customer. Okay, and I'll say alias, I'll take a C. Okay, and then I want to join J join. Okay, which rental, same table on the right hand side. I want to join rental. I'll name this as R, alias name. Okay, and then I'll say on which column you want to match. Okay, so the column that you are matching, it should be same on, it should exist in customer also and rental also, otherwise it will not work. Okay, so if you see here, we have customer ID. Okay, if I go towards right, we have customer ID. Yes, I can see customer ID and rental ID. I think from here it's a rental table. So we have customer ID. So I want to connect through customer ID. I'll say C. C stands for here, alias is for customer. Or you can say if you don't want to give alias, fine. There are different ways, okay? But these are best practices. I'll say customer dot. Okay, what is customer? Table. Which column you want to connect? Customer underscore ID equals. Then I'll say rental dot customer ID, because customer ID is there also. Underscore ID. Okay, so this is my query. Okay, see this took 520G. Okay, so we have to run an indexing. Never use star. Okay, never use star. Okay, I want to pick customer ID, first name, last name, email from customer. Okay, and rental, if I want to match something, you pick those columns and then you run. Okay, so that's the best practice. But whatever the columns you are picking from two tables, it has to come here only, not here after join. No, everything comes here. Okay, that is the reason I said you need to give alias. Okay, so it will be very easy to identify. So, for example, is it customer rental R here? I'll give the reference with R, and here let's see. Okay, so this will also work. Okay, see this is 2 seconds. Okay, because it is cached inside now. That is where it will take some less time. Now what about the column names? Okay, how do we write? So in this I need the first name. Okay, from customer table I'm taking. I need first name, comma, last underscore name, comma, email. Okay, I'm just picking up for now 3. Okay, now you want to write column names from rental. Okay, now where is rental? It starts from id, rental id. Okay, now here I need only inventory id and last updated, or I'll pick something called rental id, and then I want rental, okay, not id, rental date and customer id. Okay, so how will we write? I need to add here, I'll say rental underscore id, comma, I'll take rental date. Okay, for example, rental underscore date. So I'm taking first 3 columns from customer, rest 2 from second table. Okay, and I want to run it. Okay, now you see first 3 columns from this table and rental id and customer. Okay, but here if you see I'm not giving any reference here. You want to give reference. If this is from customer, you say c dot first name. Okay, this is also valid. So there are different ways to write a query. Okay, this is also from customer, and this is rental id I'm getting from r dot. Okay, which is rental table alias r dot, same date. Okay, 135 millisecond. Now you see I'm clubbing 2 tables and easily I'm fetching all the details, right? So similarly you can make use of all these things. Okay, there are different ways, guys. There are 101 ways to write your queries. Okay, now if you want to analyze, we have already learned analyze, right, yesterday. So I'll show you analyze. Okay, analyze. This is without index. Okay, this is analyzing index. Okay, explain, analyze, select start from payment where this id is customer is equal to 0. Okay, now you see here it gives you all the statistics here, how much time it took. Okay, customer id is equal to 1, center search is 1. Okay, it gives you all these details. Okay, and you'll get where is that? Yeah, see, you can see bitmap index canon idx foreign key customer id, because I'm using customer id here. So when you use this explain analyze, it will start indexing on this. It will create internally within internally SQL and start doing the indexing. Okay, these are some very good features are there within Postgres where it will do something automated or something. Okay, after this is done, you run one more time. Okay, you can create index also. Okay, manually. Same thing for customer. How do you create index? Some name, on payment, customer id. Okay, same thing we have learned. Okay, successfully done. Okay, and data output is nothing. You will not see anything results. Okay, don't expect anything to see. You are not querying anything. Okay, so these are some of the tips, guys. There are a lot actually. Okay, it comes only by practice. There are a lot. It comes by practice and reading some articles and all. Okay, that is where you're gonna learn something. Okay, so best practices is to create views, use views for reusable queries. So whichever query you are running every Monday, create a view and leave it. Okay, it will be very quick. And index, hide sensitive columns. Okay, so views, we use it for hiding some sensitive columns and simplify joins. Okay. And what does index do? Index frequently search columns. Okay. Is used for frequently search columns like something like this. Okay. So you have, if you want to add more than one column, which one you will use? This is a plain index. You will use composite. Composite will take multi filters. Okay. You can have multiple columns. Comma, you put a comma and keep adding those columns. Okay. And avoid too many indexes. Okay. Just don't, for one table, don't create multiple. The data that you are putting, so you'll be the right judge. Okay, you need to check what type of query you need on a daily basis, monthly basis, or weekly basis, or you are frequently running. These are all very important commands that I can think of. Okay, so you can write complex also. Okay, what we'll do is tomorrow. Let me see what are the contents we have left. So this entire thing is done. Chapter 9 is done. So under advanced SQL, we have subqueries. Okay, procedures and triggers. Windows function we have done. CT also we have done. Common table expression we have done this too. Okay, and then we'll get into the ER model normalization. Types of normal forms. We'll see how many normalization are there, and then we'll spend some time on encryption, performance tuning. Performance tuning we have done. Okay, performance tuning done. We have something on the GUI side, okay, on the server. Okay, that I'll show you. So some commands are there, memory optimization and all those things. I'll show you that. Okay, better to know everything. Okay, you never know. If you end up in some role where you have to do everything, it's good to have all this knowledge, right? So injection. So this is related to security related questions. Okay, so I'll give you the concept why this is very important. Okay, chalo guys, any questions before we end this session, or we are good? If there is nothing, I'll take this silence as no. Where is the screen sharing? Stop sharing. Okay, so we'll close